And you're live. Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome back to Forever Rugby. It's the last game of the day. Munster up against Stormers. And look, the Stormers are the last hope for the South African side to try and get some sort of positive result. It's unlikely, but they are our last chance, really, because it has not been a particularly good weekend for South African sides. It's been a fantastic day for the South African side. So I suppose we take what we can get. And overall, if you had to ask me, are we do you want to have a nice game or a nice weekend of URC? We got the Springboks to beat the All Blacks. I think we all know which one we would pick. But tonight, the Stormers are taking on a very, very good Munster side, and it's going to be competitive for about 2 minutes, I reckon. No, Shane, let me back the Stormers to do something. I think Munster are just such a quality outfit at the moment, and you look at Munster, you look at Leinster, and you just look at those squads, and you think, even with a couple of players missing, across all the sides at the moment, they just look very, very strong, very, very, and it's almost even missing players. You watched them last weekend against the Sharks. They've got an identity, they've got the game plan. It's all very sorted. Whereas I think some of the South African sides are still sort of finding their feet, even within their teams themselves, and that's a bit of an issue, because how can you expect to compete with sides if you yourself don't know what your DNA is, you don't know what your plan is, you don't know exactly how you want to play, you don't exactly know how you're going to exit, you're still sort of trying to work out those sort of small nuance issues. And if you can't do that, how can you really expect to compete? And that's the genuine issue that we are facing within all our sides. So it'll be an interesting game tonight, and I hope that the Stormers put up a bit of a fight. I mean, we didn't see much of a fight from the Sharks last week. In fact, we probably saw much more of a fight from them earlier today up against Glasgow Warriors, who I reckon are potentially going to be becoming my second team. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing from the Warriors themselves. But what are we thinking? Get your score predictions down in the comments. Good evening, Kevin says, back again for good day performance. Gregor Galway says, windy, breezy. You're watching James Bond movie, seemed pretty epic indeed. It's funny that you mentioned that, because my entire family is busy currently watching the one before this, because same as Gregor, I'm going to go watch James Bond tomorrow night. So, yeah, I'm bleak that they actually. I'm going to have to read a synopsis to try and remind myself what is going on in that old James Bond, because I can barely remember it. But yeah, that's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. Lekanya will be keeping you guys company for Dragons versus Leinster. I'm going to be on the golf course and then watching James Bond in the evening, which should be a lot of fun. Right, let me just get my team sheet sorted, which I have not done because it's been a very busy day. Also, what do you think about the shirt, by the way? This is part of the Forever Sports range. We do have a range, which is quite cool, I suppose. Never thought I'd have we'd have a range, but yeah. So we did a whole bunch of fan tees designs all on the website and stuff like that. Links in the description. So this is the Lions one, proud of Josie with our lion. He's quite cool, actually. So yeah, if you want to get yourself one of these tees, you can go and have a look on the Forever Sports store. The link is in the description below. It's shop.foreversports.net. What am I doing? I'm doing my Munster team, aren't I? That's what I'm doing. Stormers also made a couple of rotations. I'm very interested to sort of see the lock battle. That's what John Dobson reckons was a very interesting battle to watch. So looking at some of the changes in the Munster setup, Keith Earls will be starting at outside centre, which I think is quite an interesting selection. He'll be in the head of Andrew Goggin, and Calvin Nash comes in for Andrew Conway in the 14 jersey. Roy Scannell and Shane Daly keep their place from last weekend. Sorry, I lied. No, Shane Daly obviously comes in for Simon Zebo, who drops to the bench. Joey Carberry will keep his place, as does Craig Casey. Up front, Dave Kilcoyne, Niall Scannell, and Keenan Knox. Well, they are now going to be partnered by Keenan Knox. That is the front row tonight. John Klein will get another start next to Finan Wycherley. And then you've got the Peter Mahoney, who will captain and start the side. Jack O'Donoghue and Gavin Coombs as the loose trio. On the bench for Munster, we're going to see Diarmuid Barron as the reserve. Same as last week. Jamie Lauman, Stephen Archer. So Stephen Archer drops to the bench. And Keenan Knox starts. And then you got Archer's name in the number 19 jersey. Jack O'Sullivan in the number 20. Rowan Osborne, Ben Healy, and Simon Zebo complete the bench, which I'm going to have to print out now. So I will have to leave you for a little bit because, I'm looking for, in many ways, I'm almost believe the Rugby Championship is finished because it's so much to try and cover and be organized for all the time. So, let me and print. There we go. How are you feeling then? How are we feeling? It's cool, Steve. Thank you very much. Ulster absolutely destroyed Zebra. Yeah, I saw that, which is interesting. So, Zebra, 2 losses. They're sitting at the bottom of the log next to the likes of the Sharks and the Bulls. Not been a particularly good start there. But let's get a poll going. Shay, who will win this clash? Who will win this clash? Which I think we all know the answer to. Sharks, not the Sharks, Munster, or Stormers. Yeah, unfortunately, I missed the Zebra game. We were busy recording a fan cam, which is pretty cool. So we had Carl Asher, who was at the stadium today between Glasgow Warriors and Sharks, and he was busy recording a video and his reaction, stuff like that. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to go next door and quickly grab my my team sheet. In the meantime, get settled in, get your beverages, and let's get ready to try and hopefully finish the weekend on quite a decent note. And I shall return right now. Who represented Belgium as a player will be assisted by Ozen Quinn and Daniel Carson, while Andrew McMenemy is the TMO. The Bolico United Rugby Championship, live and in HD. Da, 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 da. Fly me to the moon. All right. Here we go. Let me plug my phone in because it's gonna die. Right, let me get my scoreboard sorted. Go away, notifications. I need to see you right now. Scoreboard needs to be on. Boom, there we are. We need to reset the scores, reset the timer. Right, so Stormers lineup. We've got Brock Harris, Karen Tabani, and Deadly Bashir. Brock Harris back into the lineup. First time he's playing for the Stormers since 2014, I think it is, which is quite a long time. It's interesting still to see how he goes tonight. And then very keen to see Andrew Bashir in the centres there. LJ Smith gets his first start. He's signed permanently for the Stormers, has the former Greek was lock. And interesting to sort of see how he goes. Very highly rated is Cameron RJ Smith, and very, very physical as well. So I think him and that John Klein battle will be quite interesting to sort of see how they go about their business tonight. And then Salman Murat as well. Obviously, sort of still getting back to full fitness. Match fitness, really. He hasn't played in quite a long time. But I rate him, Salman Murat. I think he's a very nice player. So let's hope that he can do the business tonight. But Zebra are historically the weakest team. Zebra looked promising in the first half, but after the other card, they lost momentum. Red Sea of Munster overwhelmed the Stormers, unfortunately. The Munster family, Mark Junior C, always going to be tough for SA teams. They only played domestic comp for 2 years, no box, and facing settled teams with much bigger caps. I think we'll start being competitive by the end of the season. Yeah, I think we're in it for the long run, aren't we? At the end of the day, the URC isn't just a one-off thing. It is going to be the future for a while. So it's important that we remain patient and we don't, and a bit like the Springboks, we do need to be patient. We do need to, I understand it's very difficult because there's just so much negativity in the world and everything at the moment, but we do need to try and just be the voice of reason, try and give people the benefit of the doubt and allow our teams to settle, allow our teams to bring players back. And you also need to build squads, remembering that we had such a big player drain, especially last year, where literally players were allowed to leave their contracts. They were given the option of leaving their contracts and going overseas. And a lot of players did. And you can't replace these players overnight. So over the next year or two, I think we will see a lot more signings coming in. I think we will see our unions bringing players back. And hopefully, as time goes, we can then sort of build decent squads. But I think it will take time. So we've already seen Jean de Jong coming back, Dion Free coming back, Jan Goosen coming back. who on common line, you know, I mean, the Bulls and a lot of them bringing players back into the country, and also need to give it a bit of time for the youngsters because of the player drain. We've obviously had a whole fresh bunch of youngsters coming through, which will be very, very good one day, but they need time to settle. If you're looking to watch the game, because I'm seeing a comment like that, you can watch it for free using ExpressVPN. I'm going to drop the link in the comments. It is being shown on a free-to-air broadcaster over an island. So if you use ExpressVPN and you go to an island server, you can watch this game for free. And the link you want, so you've got ExpressVPN link in the description there. And I'm actually going to change the description of the video, and that'll have the link to where you must go and watch the game as well. Right, kick off. Stormers playing right to left, and Monty Leibach gets things underway, going down the middle of the park, and it's an early touch for. Sorry, I actually didn't zoom in quick enough. Right, number 5 there. That's Finian Wycherley carrying it up. Now looking to go to the boot is Craig Casey. He'll finds touch towards the halfway line. It's the broadcaster you're looking for is, where is it now? And now I've completely lost it. I'm going to share the link right now. I'm just trying to find it quickly. It's a decent line when they're from Munster. I'll get it to you guys right now. Decent line up there. Oh, it's that ball. Dan du Plessis has burst through. Gets around, looking for an offload. He's still going as Dan du Plessis. Still going as Dan du Plessis. Eventually brought down by Jean Klein. Very nice run by the inside centre. Quick ball there from Stefan Ungara. Giselle Murat as captain, almost up to the 5 metre of the Stormers. They're going out wide there. Ruan now cuts inside. Kind of goes towards the traffic, but also towards support. Quick ball, Stefan Ungara. That goes to no one. Somebody needs to clean up. And it's Evan Ruas who eventually gets through. It's a decent carry from him. Namat Klaba goes up himself. On the front foot, the Stormers up towards the 5 metre. Stefan Ungara waiting. RJ Smith's first carry of the game. Met very well on the tackle there. And not doing enough to clean them out with the Stormers there. And you can see Dan du Plessis having a go at his forward, saying you've got to clean them out. And it's a very, very good steal on the ground there. But that was a nice break by Dan du Plessis. Really, really good. Okay, I've updated the description. The link you are looking for, I'm going to drop in the comment as well. Use ExpressVPN, connect to an island server, and then go to that link, and you can watch this game for free. The link for ExpressVPN is also in the comments as well. We've got a special offer for you guys. We are partners with ExpressVPN, so you guys can get a special offer there as well. And I really do recommend getting it, even if you don't use it to watch games. It's just nice for internet security. I'm currently using ExpressVPN just to make sure that all is well and no one's going to come in and grab our stream and shit like that. And that's a very nice start. Good stuff from Dan du Plessis. I'm going to end the poll now. 24 people have voted, and 62% people said that Munster will win. From the penalty, they've found touch just before halfway line, so I missed a couple of comments there. Trying to be competitive. RJ Smith went up to try and win that ball, but solid. Oh, no, he spills it forward as... I think it's Joe Carberry who spills that forward, which is very... No, it's not. It's Gavin Coombs. That's not a good moment at all. We'll have our first scrum of the day. Shane Lloyd says Storm is the best rugby club in the world. I mean, if you believe that, then great. Irish T's put 70 points on Zebra and regular. I put 5 around on a Stormers win, really budgeting on a win. Imagine Lions, we call Faf and Alton to the Lions. Stop it, I like it. Cammy says, go Stormers. Right, we'll have a first scrum of the day. How does the log look right now? Not good for South Africans. You've got Bulls and the Stormers sitting very close to the bottom. Well, they're pretty much on the bottom 4 with Zebra, all on 0 points. I think the Lions currently 10th. All right, first scrum of the day. Brock Harris, the experienced veteran here on the tight head side. Nearly Bashir on the other side there. Obviously, no Kitsoff, France Maherba, but that'll be a big boost eventually. Decent scrum here from the Stormers. Decent scrum. Got a bit of go forward ball as well. Pitch is sort of... And the penalty. That's huge from the Stormers. That's massive. The ground sort of breaking up a little bit underfoot, but that's a massive scrum from Stormers. Brock Harris, Neatly for sure. They'll enjoy that. They'll enjoy that. It's very kickable as well, so this could be first points on the board. The Sharks got no points today. Nothing. Zip. They're left with nothing. So they are going to have a go, our Stormers. Money Leibach's got his hand on the ball. And he's going to have a shot at goal here. Apparently, there's a slight wind going towards them. Oh, my stream has been so statuy today. I apologize if we do lose connection. I need to sort it all out, but I just haven't had time to do it today. So yeah, we had a couple of connection issues which haven't been great. Brock Harris has come from the Dragons. I think it's a short-term loan, actually. I don't think he's there for the entire season. Actually, I don't know if he's there for the entire season or what a story is, but he has joined from the Dragons. Last played for the Stormers, I think it's 7 years ago, back in 2014. He's played almost 100 caps for them, though, so plenty of experience there. Am I the only one that sees that referee being in favor of the European teams? Look, I mean, I don't think it's a case of them being against us. I think it's a case of us not understanding how they referee in terms of certain law interpretation. We need to start adapting to that and understanding exactly how they play the game. Obviously, these teams, that's gone very high for Money Leibach. It's looking good, though. Goes towards the right, unfortunately. At the distance, though, Money Leibach. Oh, and that's not a particularly good kick from Munster, and they go straight under the 22. So it's still an attacking opportunity here for the Stormers. Current to Benny will set up a line on the 22. Brock equals Badger. How's it, mate? How's it, Rion? You well? And they've lost the line out there, Stormers. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. That's a basic. Oh, but never mind. They've won it back. Oh, it's a big carry from Willie Engelbrecht. Quick ball from Stefan Ungerer to Money Leibach. Oh, a bit of an inside gap there for Sergio Peterson. Almost supposed to be. Tips up to Money Leibach. Money Leibach goes to Ruben. No! Oh, I can't hang on. If he could hang on, I think he could have been in there, Ruben. No, it's a fantastic break there. Munster managed to turn the ball with the knock on there from Ruben. And Wishley filling in at scrum half there, giving it to, I think it was Gavin Coombs there. And now eventually Craig Casey is ready to give it back to Joey Carberry. And looks like a better touch finder than the initial one. But he's only found touch just past the 22 meters. But the Stormers looking quite dangerous with ball in hand. Really nice play there between Money Leibach and Sergio Peterson. Sergio Peterson finding a gap. Then the pop-up to Money Leibach. Oh, and I'm not quite sure the pass was actually meant for her now. It actually might have made its way to Warwick Lunt. But that's some nice early signs. The second nice break from the Stormers. I'll tell you what, I really, really like Stefan Ungerer. I was quite upset when he went to Stormers. I thought that we were in for him. But I think that I think he's a very nice player. It's got a very nice pass and a very good kicking game. Sky into Benny goes. It's a very weird line out. It kind of sort of pops to nowhere, and Salman Murat goes up and takes it and brings it down. So they do have possession there. Ungerer going to Evan Ruiz. Neatly for sure. I think they're doing quite well to just sort of spin away towards a tackle there. Now another carry there for Salman Murat, the captain. Former junior bar captain. Stefan Ungerer being played there. So big kind of route, but they do manage to keep possession there. Cheapest. The ball's going everywhere. Oh, it's going to Benny. Money Leibach's in the gap. Money Leibach on the side. Oh, go over. Oh, yes. Well, he's got grounding. He's got, that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Wow, the Stormers are ahead. What a little break there. Scurry into Benny with the little dummy, then putting Money Leibach into a gap. The step outside here. You can see the offload there for Neatly for sure. Quick cancel block, Harris. Scurry into Benny lays the pass. Brilliant step from Money Leibach. He gets it away to Warwick Lunt. Lunt sort of gets tackled over the line, but he's already done enough, and he's over. Oh, but this is Money Leibach, though. The celebration and he was looking to put the man in space. I'm a big Money Leibach fan. He plays exciting rugby. And this is a lovely combination. And just, he had the momentum, did Warwick Lunt. Boom. Boom. What a start. They looked good so far, the Stormers. They have looked good. Do you think there'll be 7 tries in this game? Yeah, could be. Ron, you're embarrassing me, mate. Love it. Refs must be neutral. I mean, they are neutral. I just think it's going to take a while for us to understand, because our referees, first of all, I don't think our referees are nearly as good, but also ref things very differently. So I think it'll take a while for us to understand the interpretation and what we can and can't do. The laws are the laws, but they are interpreted slightly differently at times. Well, thank you so much, Kerry, the latest member of the Forever Sports Members Club. You can become a member as well. Get yourself a little badge next to your name there. And and also going to be giving a discount to our store for Forever Sport members. That's off to the left there from my Liebach. Probably needs to do a bit better there from the boot. But Josh, if you want to get yourself a shirt like this, we're going to be giving members a discount that will hopefully be confirmed in the next couple of days. And obviously a couple of other benefits. Gelant to box, please. Yeah, no, we need this though. We know this. We need to get Gelant into that box setup. I know everyone's keen to see Upland Fassi, but people are forgetting the player that is Warwick Gelant. We always start so early but fall off so bad later on in the game. Liebach and Gelant playing well together. I mean, they're mates play together, aren't they? Go to the left now. It's Joey Corey from the kickoff. That's a nice take from Salman Murat to get up nice and high to win that ball. He's a nice player, is Salman Murat. I really do rate him. Evan Ruiz now wrapped up quite quickly. You know you'll have a lot of carries with Evan Ruiz. The question is, can he have that? Can he impose himself as physically as he did in the Currie Cup? Right, Storm is looking to almost run it. Ronnie Liebach sees a bit of a gap, gets wrapped up by John Klein. But looking to run out of the 22 is quite ambitious. They go back to Warwick Gelant. Gelant will go to the boot. He can't get a touch. Sergio Peterson is chasing very, very hard. That's some touch here. Oh, it's a nice offload from Haley towards Calvin Nash. Sorry, it's not Nash. I think it's Shane Daly on that side there. And they fall in nuts. Oh, that's Nama Clubber's breakfast. I mean, they've got a penalty advantage to the Stormers. Nama Clubber turning it over the breakdown. Evan Ruiz not carrying up. Natalie Bashir being the heaviest scrummer from the Northern Hemisphere there. There's space out wide. There, Gelant finds Manny Liebach, who goes to Billy Ringelbrecht, who goes to... Oh, that's a nice big hit from Leon Lanzas, who rises the contact, getting up into Munster half here. This is really good from the Stormers. Good take there from Salman Murat before a horrible pass, but we'll go all the way back for the penalty. I mean, that was... That is Nama Clubber's flipping bread and butter. I mean, you want to fall in front of a player like that, right? And he's just over there in the flash, grabbed the ball, got the advantage, turned it over, and looked to counter it very quickly as well. Good evening, Aiden. Hope you're well. Boxer, so many players that don't get a run. Even Willemse didn't get a proper chance yet. Alton joined the Sharks. Imagines how deadly backline. No, none of that. We don't need that here. Alton doesn't go anywhere. If he comes back to South Africa, he comes back to the Lions. The Lions is throwing our concentration off. Well, look, I mean, for all that we kind of wrote, I mean, I definitely did write Storm was off. They started like a house on fire, playing really positive rugby so far. It's looking really good. Look, there's something about John Dobson's team. They do attack very nicely. It's just usually the defense that's the issue. They go right over the top to Dan du Plessis. There's a high tackle on him as well. Penalty advantage, pick up and go from Evan Ruiz. So Stormers will have an opportunity to add 3 here. And it's a decent lineup to option there. And I also really like Dan du Plessis. I definitely think he's ahead of Ricky Pretorius in my opinion, both defensively and on attack. He's a very nice player. You can see just stepping inside now, Scandal, whose tackle does creep up into a bit of a seatbelt tackle, as they call it. Okay, saying Block and Stormer supported till the end. Oh, they're going for the line there. It's not a brilliant kick, but they found this touch inside the 22, so they want to ride the confidence here. I enjoy that. I mean, the Sharks were going for 3 points when they were like 28 points behind. Stormers 5 points ahead and going for it. Now Clubber is really good on the floor. Yeah, one of the best in the business. Kalan to become new 15 for the box, please. Yeah, the sound of silence is a strategy. It is quite weird, isn't it? We were actually talking about this on our fan cam. It's a very messy lineup, but Salman Murat has cleaned up, but it is a knock-on. That's very poor from the Stormers. I think going for the line, I don't think it's a bad option. But that's a very poor line out there. Can't leave up, make a kick. No, 0-3. How does Munster rank? Are they a strong team? Very, very strong team. Munster have won it before, won the whole competition before. It's often Leinster Munster in the final. I think it was this last season. I think it was Munster versus Leinster in the final. Leinster taking it. So you are looking at one of the top sides in the competition. Carl was still when the conversion was at hand. Yeah, we were talking about this with Carl on the fan camp today because he was obviously in Glasgow today watching the Warriors versus Sharks, and he was just saying it's a very different type of atmosphere. He said it's very friendly, it's very sort of family orientated. I'm not saying there's no passion, but I think when we played Super Rugby, it's hostile. Hey, it's hostile. You want to do like Wellington or Dunedin, it's a hostile environment. Whereas I don't think it's the same thing here. As I said, very quiet when the kick is taking the chase. Or Gavin Cooter's burst off the back there. It's quite an intimidating sight. Marnie Liebach making the tackle after the scrum there. And now Craig Casey looking to go to the boot. He does. And as Rugby gets a touch line from Cyril Pearson, he puts the ball inside. Valia Engelbrecht there just takes it in front of Joe Carberry, but under a lot of pressure. And Munster have turned it over. And Skyler Jabani needs to release that, or else he's going to concede a penalty. Well, they turned the ball over, but no penalty for advantage for Munster. Now McLeod a quick up there to make the tackle on his countryman Klein. Carberry shows one. He gets the gap. That's a massive hit from Netling for sheer on Jack O'Donoghue. Now going towards the left there. Carberry puts it to the boot. He's turned Warwick Galant with a bit of a bad bounce, but it is going to run too far, and Galant's just going to wait for it and dot down. The pace of this game is really cool. I'm enjoying it. Still can't believe we beat the All Blacks. Yeah, loving it. Stormers are doing well so far, so I see why. Fussy is a much better 15 than Galant. Sorry, not sorry. Big call. I think I do rate Galant ahead of him, to be honest. Why does the money give the kicking duties on the touch to Galant? He kicked poorly touch last week too. Decent shot. Munster meant to be good. I just agree Galant is an out-and-out 15. Fussy is a wing as well, so play both. I mean, you could play both. It means you're dropping Pimpy, which is a big shout. Right, Carberry has gotten the ball from the restart here. Looks to bring in number 12. That's Roy Scannell. Kaden Knox now carrying it up. Munster into the Stormers half. Craig Casey going to the left. There's a lot of space that they can make the offload. But Cyril Peterson did well to initially make the hit, but doesn't manage to bring out Jack O'Donoghue. Then bounced off Netley Bashir. Is eventually brought down by Dan Duplessis. Still going down the blind side. Keith Earls' first sort of involvement, trying to look for the offload, but can't quite find it. Now back towards the right-hand side. It's now Scannell this time. I don't know if this is a penalty to the Stormers. My flipping thing is... I think, there's a penalty for Storm. I think it's RJ Smith that's one for not believing. That's a really good penalty to win as well. Well, I'll tell you what, Stormers are all over this game. Look up for it. They look up for it. Go Stormers, says Peter. Graham says the 50-22 rule is going to become huge attacking weapons. Box need a big but accurate boot at the back. Don't think Galant is the fit. Fast was great today, but in that role, but needs someone for the future. Look, Galant's not got a bad boot, eh? Fussy can't tackle. Seeing how bad LaRue was defensively almost cost in the box. Villiers even better than Galant. Nah, mate, come now. Let's not be silly here. Last week when the Stormers played, seeing the crowd clap hands shocked me. Very weird. Brendan crowds are very neutral. 2-0 so far for them. Yeah, decent start to them as well. Leinster beat Munster 13-3 in last year's final. There we go. Cameron coming in clutching with some info. Why are the Bucks stuck with LaRue for so long, even though he's been well off the ball for some time? I think it's because he's the most creative player in the backline. So if anyone's ever going to try and spark something, he is the one. And I think he reads the game like a book. He's very, very intelligent, is Willie LaRue. So he's struggling under the high ball. He's struggling when he actually has to do something, but he's a very intelligent player in terms of seeing the space, in terms of kind of marshalling the backline defensively. So I think that's probably what's keeping him in the side. Despite that, his skills at the moment are just a little bit off from Willie LaRue, which is uncharacteristic because he's a very skillful player. But yeah, look, I think the time has come, and I think that we're starting to see the need for some new blood to come in. And as I said, I'd like to see Warwick Galant there. I'm glad Fussy's in and around the setup. Cami says LaRue's a dope person. He's just having an off season. He is. I mean, he's a lacquer guy. He's a very, very nice. I think he's definitely somebody I'd love to have on the podcast and have a proper sit down. Sorry, the time is currently off, by the way. That's why we're having a bit of a chat. He's just a very relaxed individual, and I think he's got a lot of good sense of humor as well. Decent line win there from RJ Smith. He's a big character, as RJ Smith. Looks like a decent running more here. Moving forward nicely, the Stormers. Working really hard there. Stefan Unger is right by Scarron Benny, asking for that ball now. Ball's available for Stefan Unger, who goes to the boot. This is why he was brought into the side. He's got a very good boot there. It's going to stand up just inside 22. Shirley Peterson up there, make it competitive. It forced to Gavin Coombs. Forward off Sergio Peterson was the call, so it was a knock-on advantage. Slow knock-on advantage. Munster walking towards the left. O'Donoghue gets smacked there. Now Craig Casey is going to go to the boot. Brings with that left boot of his. Looking to find touch. And he does. It's a decent touch finder. It's just beyond the 10-meter. Decent exit play there for Munster. But a competitive kick. I like the Roos Cheetahs, but now it's just off. France really played well. Absolutely destroyed Damien McKenzie. I think it was a rough call as well, because I think he did dislodge the ball. Evan Lewis having a bit of a talking to there. I'm not quite sure what about. Do you think the Stormers lost last week because of being unfit? I mean, maybe it could be a case. I don't see how they could be unfit. They've just played a full base. I mean, they've been coming off a full domestic season, so fitness should not be an issue for them. Will you make the World Cup, though? It's time for SA to prep for World Cup experiment now. DMAC having night as a France staying tonight 100%. Well, that's interesting. Now, McClover was going up as a line option. Evan Lewis now with one of the stormy runs gets away from 2. But Gavin Coombs gets up to bring down his opposite number. And we're going to Monty Liebach. Inside ball to Salman Murat. He gets past the first defender. Nice carry from the captain there. Stefan Unger now. Quick flat ball there. I think it's to Willie Engelbrecht. No, it's Neil Bashir. Deciding to go left now. Watchalong saw a bit of space. Goes flat to Ruan now. Ruan now got a bit of space. Offload to Leon Zus. Leon Zus in the corner. Woo! Stormers on fire. Stormers on fire in Ireland. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It is Munster as well. As long as they don't bra with petrol, then we're good. We're good. But hello. Leon Zus into the lineup, onto the score sheet, and it's brilliant by Ruan now. Watchalong spotted the space. He called for it. You can see Unger wants to go to the right, and then the call came to move left. And Watchalong, nice pass out wide to Ruan now, gets outside of Keith Earls. And number 14, Calvin Nash comes inside there, and brilliant offload from Ruan now. A little bit of a chicken wing there. And you can see he goes between the two players, gets the offload to Leon Zus, who's got a free run into the corner. He's got the pace. The covering, Mike Haley can't make the tackle. And the Stormers go up 10-0 in 20 minutes. What a try. What a try. Lee says, box of Collier, Pimpy, Spoo, Fassi, and Galanta, all pure class. I don't agree LaRue is the most creative from the box backline. Amers actually watched the games from the World Cup British Irish. Yeah, but they're very different. Doesn't operate as the first receiver. So won't take the ball first up and either dictate where to go to space and put players into a gap. You know, he's very much put him into our space, and he will find people. So he is creative, but he doesn't operate as a first receiver, if you get what I'm saying. Whereas Billy LaRue does come in as a first receiver. A lot in the time. But, this is a great try. And now Monty Liebach will try to knock over the extras. It's staying straight. It sneaks in. Decent kick there from Monty Liebach right up against the touchline. It's such a good try. Watchalong really good there. Ruan now with a fantastic offload. Leon Zus with the pace. Boom. Oh, and then a mistake from Carberry, who's kicked it out in the full. Well, there we go. It's a very flustered Munster. And the mistakes are starting to creep in, and the Stormers need to ride this wave for as long as they can. Momentum's a funny thing. Stormers attack. Can they hold on this time? Come on, boys. Goodness gracious me. Time for quiet conversion. Do you think the Cheetahs is fair? They've been performing very well in Europe. Why would they exclude them? The problem is we could only send 4 teams north, and we sent our 4 best teams. I do think we did send our 4 best teams from the last sort of decade. And I think it's harsh on Cheetahs, but it is kind of a bit of a reality. I think the biggest issue is us not being able to find them a competition to play in. So if we can sort that out, then cool. But I mean, who are you going to leave out in the URC right now? Who are you going to leave out? Because Bulls are really poor, but suddenly in the last year have been very good. The Lions have been the best SA side over the last 5 years. You're not going to leave out the Sharks and Stormers, are you? So I think it was inevitable. Right, I'm going to go towards the right. Money Liebach, I found a bit of space here. Oh, inside ball there from Watchalong. Little Pearson on the angle to Evan Ruas. Oh, he almost comes up. He gets up and goes another go. Almost up to the 5 meter here are the Stormers. What a breakdown on the right-hand side. That Dan WC's a bit of space. They've got an advantage as well. Stefan Ungara goes to Samarat, who puts his head down, runs into a couple of Munster defenders. Now Stefan Ungara goes to the right. Namaklaba gets the 4-foot away to MWC, who goes to Rowan now. He cuts back inside, running towards a bit of support here. Stormers need to stay composed. Ungara going back to Money Liebach. Money Liebach finding some space. Oh, well, Kalan catches it and gets brought down by Calvin Nash. Gets the offload away to go into Benny, though. He's slightly isolated, but the ball players are there to retain it. Inside ball from Stefan Ungara. I mean, he's got a chicken wing, dripping balls inside. Talk about flair here. And no, there's nothing clear about that. That's just someone who had hard work, almost up to the tie line there. Pick up and go on Brock Harris. Sorry, that's not Brock Harris. I think that's Evan Ruas. You won't appreciate me calling him Brock Harris, man. To tell you that much. RJ Smith now, the big lock, is driven back. Ball's available there. Composure. Stefan Ungara wants the ball himself. Villiers Engelbrecht going short there. Stefan Ungara digs. Money Liebach attacks inside 1, inside 2, and he's over! Money Liebach is having the time of his life. What a performance so far in the first half. The Stormers are over again. And this all came down from the breakdown on the blind side. Liebach is having an absolute time here. You can see Evan Ruas to Stefan Ungara to Money Liebach, bringing in Keith Earls, bringing in Watchalong. He then pops the ball inside Cyril Peterson, who runs a really good straightening line. Good support play there from Evan Ruas to get them up. After that, they run the phases, they keep picking up and going, and then Money Liebach has a lot to do. Steps inside one, steps inside another, goes down, manages to place it. What a try. Oh, they actually want to have a look at it. I was about to say, having looked at that now, I wonder if he might have been a bit short. They've got a penalty advantage anyway, so even if this was ruled out, they'll go back for the penalty. But this is now the angle which will show whether he's gotten there or not. Oh, I think he knocks him out of his hand here, actually. This could be a brilliant intervention from Mike Haley. Yeah, I think he loses. I think Mike Haley does very well here, actually. Big call for the referees to make. It would be a fantastic try if they do score. But even if they don't, I think they did have a penalty advantage. So he will go back for that penalty there. I don't think he's got control of this. I don't think this is going to stand. And unfortunately, because it's a wonderful piece of individual brilliance from Money Liebach, he'll go back for the penalty yard. Won't stand, unfortunately, so I need to move that back down to 12. Or do I? No, I don't. What am I doing? It is times 12. How many tries you got? Yeah, I got the 2 tries. Yeah, so we're back down to 12. Penalty advantage, though. And I reckon with this momentum, surely you're going to get kicked for touch here. Ride the wave here. Ride the wave, Stormers. Where are we? So Barry says Munster should be ashamed of themselves. Not surprised with that head coach. I mean, harsh. Sure, his kicking needs work, but he's also a great attacking player. I'm not sure which we're talking about. I think you're talking about Liebach. In terms of the box squad, nah, not yet. If you can have a season like this throughout the thing, then maybe. But they do go for the line here. Achilles says I support Munster, but I'd be glad if Stormers win. It's going to give SA teams hope. Ruan says this feels like deja vu. Didn't the Lions also do this in the opening game? Yeah, they started like a house on fire. Love Stephen Unger barking out the instructions there. Perhaps Stormers catch Munster off guard today. When the Stormers play running rugby, they are super strong, but like last week, second half where the subs kicked the whole time and excluding the line out, their game plan falls apart. Well, here we go. Scarra into Benny. Goes to the front to RJ Smith. It's a very good sack there for Munster, so Scarra into Benny's going to have to use it. Gets the ball to Ungara. He's got Evan Ruiz and Willie Engelbrecht, and they'll carry it up. Oh, the ball skewed from the side. Munster managed to turn that over. That's a really, really good turnover. But having said that, Salman Murat's all over that ball trying to win it back. He reckons he should have had a penalty there, but Munster do come away with it. Trying to clear a bit of space, yes, so Craig Casey can go to touch. And he will find touch. Well, very good turnover there for Munster, but they're not out the woods yet because it finds touch just past the 22. Stormers just, they're living rent-free at the moment in the Munster half. Matthew says, how has Munster performed in the last 3 Pro 14 season? TMO gets started again. Smart Junior Lions playing Glasgow Warriors next week. I'm very excited for that. What block positions have the weakest depth? I don't know, actually. What do you reckon? Which position is the biggest worry for the box? Probably outside centre. So line out win there. Nice carry there. I think it's Dan Duplessis. It's available for Ungara. He goes to Evan Ruiz. He gets the offload off the ground, but Namaklava can't hang on to it, and it comes off of Munster head. So Munster turned the ball over. And he does turn it over legally on the ground as Klaba, but there was a knock-on advantage, so we'll go back for the scrum. Pity, if he managed to take that, it could have been interesting. Even with the big losses, there's potential. Munster's a super strong team. Well done for this so far. Stormers, says Andrew. In all honesty, Stormers shouldn't win and doesn't make sense. Look, crazy things have happened. My clock not being on for the last 4 minutes. So Luke reckons fly half is the biggest issue. Barry says I'm a Malenza fan, but he tries to suffer rugby with a pack that's not suited to that style. They do okay till they meet a good team and can't deal with them. Fair enough. You know more about them than we do. I'm surprised by Stormers tonight. They need to keep the momentum going. We have Jesse Creel. Yeah, I haven't been particularly impressed with Jesse Creel lately when he has played. He kind of looks like a bit of a flank. But yeah, look, maybe inside centre could be a shot for depth. It depends if you're going to count Dan Williams as inside centre. I'd say this box are fairly comfortable with most positions, to be honest. 10 is probably the bigger shot because Mornay Stain doesn't have much of a long-term future. So you got Alton and Andre. Not a lot of people rate Alton, and Andre's playing really poorly. So then after that, who's the call-up? Probably Jan Gerson. But he hasn't started particularly well in the URC so well. So Sharks should beat Ospreys and Bulls, Cardiff, so it should be a better next week. It's still very early. The centre of the fly half the way Barrett carved through them for Adi Sevilla try should be worried defensively. Yeah, that was flipping Andre Pollard shifting too far left too quickly. But a scrum here. Now we saw a very big scrum from the Stormers earlier on, so I reckon Munster might want to try and get this under the Fooker's feet quite quickly and get it out. Rock Harris seems to be getting the better of Dave Kilcoyne. I'm not Dave Kilcoyne. That's another big scrum from the Stormers, so they do have to use it. But they've decided to go down the other side. Keith Earls will kick them up deep, looking for touch as well. It's a very nice touch finder. But did he have? No, he was outside the 22. So that's a big mistake from Keith Earls. He's kicked far too far, and he's going to concede a line out inside his 22. Yeah, you can just see it. Just skews off his boot, and it's going to land straight in touch. So that's a bit of a poor mistake. And all of a sudden, Stormers on the 22 once again. They just can't get out the half, can Munster? Take back my criticism of Alton. He played with class today. Cohen is struggling too. My only other option is Lerock if he shows up in these games. Look, there's obviously Gerson. But yeah, after that, we are sort of scratching the barrel a bit. Going to the back once again. Dan Duplessis on the angle. Seems to be a very common tactic there by the Stormers to go over the top to Dan Duplessis in the midfield. They've got an advantage as well. Scarra Benny cuts inside. So a bit of a free roll of the dice here for Stormers. What can they do? Stefan Ungaro goes to Moni Liebach, who goes to Warren Galant, a couple of players up quickly. And he just dives on the ball. We'll go back for the penalty. Well, here we go. Take the 3 points here. Stormers is right in front. Well, right in front of the Poles, this will surely be 15-0. You take the points here, Chaz. I understand you had the momentum earlier, but now you take the points. Yep. Salman Murat says, we'll take those points. Thank you very much. Kami says, too early for strike. They must keep the focus. Bulls also dominated last night. Were almost dominated last night. GSB says, what do you think of having a permanent Springbok 15? Think that'll really help with depth. You mean like an SAA side? Yeah, I've been asking for that for a long time. That can operate at least. It doesn't have to be play every single time, but at least three matches a year. You know, during that incoming series in like July, have an SAA versus French Barbarians or Fiji or somebody like that. Moni Liebach splits the Poles, add the 3 extra, and play in the same country so they can move between squads if they need to. Munster making mistakes, but how long can the Stormers hold on? Ruan says Alton always fixes Pollard's mess. Stormers need a try. Oh, they've got 2 already. Matthew says, I think Munster needs a club legend like Ronan O'Gara to coach them. Imagine being the All Blacks and having Mwanga, Barrett, and McKenzie. Yeah, it's a bit childish, isn't it? Going deep from the kickoff arm, Munster towards the left-hand side. It's well taken by Ruan Nel, who goes to the boot. Don't often see him kick too much, but it's a decent kick. Right up against touchline there is Haley. He'll return the favour. This will be competitive, though. He's going to chase his own kick. And he's there, and he chases it, and he wins it back, and Scannell comes down the left-hand side. Gives it away to Wycherley, who comes inside. Casey manages to find Shane Daly. So Munster now on the front foot. Yo, that's a huge carry. That's blooming. Salman Murat has just abused, I think it's Jean Klein. That's a huge tackle. He just picked him up and driven back about 5 yards. Now to Joe Carberry. Carberry deciding he spots a bit of space down the left. Big tackle on him from Evan Ruiz. This is good by the Stormers. Nice physicality being shown here. Number 4, Jean Klein puts his head down. Billy Engelbrecht brings him down. Craig Casey trying to speed up play a little bit. Solid carry there by Wycherley. Now to Carberry. Goes to Kilcoyne. Into Benny's up there quickly. They're forcing their back on the Stormers. And once again, Nama Clubber coming up quite quickly to try and remove any gain line advantage. Craig Casey now. Carberry stepping inside. Brought down once again by Evan Ruiz, who has a go at the ball, but gets cleaned out. And the ball seems to spew out the side. And I think Munster have managed to keep it. But a bit messy. Keith Earls operating a scrum off there. Scannell now being brought down by his opposite number and Brock Harris. Pick up and go from Keith Earls, who's smashed right in front of Scurry into Ben. He's all over that ball. But Munster do keep it. Looking for Klein to carry up here. South African runs into Salman Murat and Brock Harris. Bit of a brick wall there. Now Gavin Coombs gets away from Billy Engelbrecht, but brought down by Scurry into Benny. He's played well tonight, says Scurry into Benny. Now Carberry, what can he do? He goes himself once again and driven back. I mean, they're all the way back to the 10 meters. This is really good defense. Keith Earls quickly up there. Quick hands. They've got an overlap. They can use it. Amoni goes to Shane Daly. Shane Daly goes inside. Keith Earls is there. Keith Earls goes outside. Aaron Lewis makes the tackle. And I think there's a knock on there from Haley. The Stormers are claiming it, but they're still going on Munster inside the 22. Mahoney keeping it alive. Nearly Bashir on Kilcoyne. Coombs, big hit there, but Namaklaba all over that ball trying to win the penalty, but conceding a penalty, which I'm not sure is that's an interesting call. It's a rough call on Namaklaba there, but that's a really good, it's a nice passage of defense there from Stormers. Munster eventually finding space out on the left. An interesting decision now, 15 points down. It's very kickable. Do they take the 3 points or do they go for, they're going to go for a quick tap here. Now Scout's got the ball at his feet. He does tap and go. So Stormers going to need to front up once again. Stefan Unger is limping in the background, by the way. Doesn't look happy at all. It should be a big loss. Oh, it's a penalty. Yeah, for the 3-man. That's actually very interesting. That's the first time I've seen that penalty being awarded. You're no longer allowed. 2 people are not allowed to latch onto the player before he goes into contact. So it's the first time I've seen that actually being blown. Yeah, you see, you're not allowed to do that anymore. That's a good shout. Good spot from the ref. That's a very, very big period from the Stormers, who then have found a brilliant touch. Who kicked that? You kicked that. I mean, jeepers. Did anybody see you kick that? Because that is a monster kick. They found touch. They're on their 5 meters, and they found touch on the 10 meters inside Munster's half. That's huge. Where are we at? Does Argentina have that much depth? I prefer Uruguay. We're talking about, I think, the SA side. Don't you think SA should have rotated players in order to keep depth? If you look at the All Blacks, they've almost a man-for-man replacement every player. Yeah, I do think we should have seen a bit more. And that's stolen in the lineup there by Jean Clay. And it's not a great line throw from Scurry and Tabeni. Munster winning possession back, and Craig Casey goes to the boot. It's quite far. It's right up against the touchline as well. Circle Pearson getting up high, getting away from the one tackle and managing to buy himself a bit of time so support can arrive. Stefan Angra seems to be okay as well. He was limping early on. Had a nice start to the game as Stefan Angra, who's now probably going to go to the boot, I reckon. Yeah, he does go to the boot. Billy Engelbrecht and Shirtle Peterson will give chase. And Coombs knocks it forward. And Namaklaba comes away with it, trying to get the ball away. Just going to Benny, who eventually goes back, but I think there was a knock on there. Double knock on. First one from Gavin Coombs on Munster, so it will be a Stormers scrum. Where are we at? Who all is from Cape Town in here? Probably quite a few of us, I'd imagine. Cape Cod, does that count? Says Kiva, Cape Town here from Cameron Clains, New Zealand born though. Uruguay and Namibia, who part of the Rugby Championship A comp as well. I think the concept of a Rugby Championship A tournament would be quite cool, actually. I'm in there. There we go. Matthew Dixon for Sanzar chairman. Pod actually inside centre, preferred position. Well, he thinks of himself as a fly half, but he plays like an inside centre. Martin is and I'm just missed out where he's Durban born here, live in UK. Munster needs a try. They do Southern Hemisphere rules very differently, blown by ref. Aussies did that a few times last week. Great kick from Kalant. I wondered it was Kalant. That was a huge kick. That's what I'm saying, guys. Kalant's my boy. Lenny says, go Stormers. Please upgrade your commentary skills. Sure thing. If you can see an update somewhere I can post off the App Store, then let me know. I don't know. Do I plug a USB into myself, or what's the story there? Let me know. I don't know. Do I need to go to Owen Kamani? Are there commentary classes anywhere that I can go to? To be honest, if you don't like it, you can kind of leave. Everybody else seems to have it okay with it. I know it's not what I ever thought it wants to do, but we're moving here. We're moving. 8,000 people seem to do not mind it. So, so scrum here for the Stormers. Stefan Unger feeds under the hookers there. It's pretty solid, so he's going to use it. Goes to Mani Liebach. He's taking it nice and flat, going to Warwick Kalant. Seeing an outside centre. The long pass to Leon Zas, who just completely loses it for. I mean, that's horrendous from Leon Zas. How do you lose it like that? Long pass out from Kalant, trying to skip the man. And he just, I don't know if he takes his eye off the ball there, but it's a horrible knock on. David Russell said, the Stormers look so far the better SA team. Hope they can keep it up. Isn't Pollard got busy at Montpellier with Pollard, so he'll be the fly half? He is, and I'm very upset that he left because I really enjoyed him at Benetton. I was hoping to watch a lot more of him. He's such a cool player to watch as Pollard got busy. An African-only Rugby Cup would be sick. It would be cool. I mean, and then again, we could have our SAA side playing in that rather than, obviously, the Springboks probably wouldn't play in that, but yeah, we need to do more for that. Roshan says, hope they don't throw their lead away. How are we playing, Jimmy 9? Well, if we are Stormers, then you're playing pretty well. Pretty well. In fact, I'm very impressed. I need to get my clock going. Carlos says, I told you in the previous stream, Stormers 23, months 16. You did make a call. That's a huge scrum from the Stormers. Namaklaba has picked up and gone. How is that a penalty against Stormers? I mean, they've walked about 30 yards. Okay, so Brock Harris scrumming in is the call, but it's a massive scrum from Stormers. See, I appreciate you. Martin Lee says my commentary is cool, so I'm going to take that. Anyway, they've not found touch yet, Munster, so they've gone all the way inside. Now Warwick Kalant's going to use that left boot to get them out of trouble. Doesn't find touch though on the 10 meters, so Stormers line needs to come up here. Mahoney comes in, tackle comes in from another clubber. Oh, that's a horrible pass to Casey. He knocks it backwards, but now under a lot of pressure from Scurry and Tabeni. And RJ Smith's over, and he's won the ball on the ground. I mean, for somebody his size, he's really good at the breakdown, is RJ Smith. Now clubber getting the ball away to Dan Dubussy, who slips and eventually manages to get the ball to Stefan Ungra, who decides to go down to the boot. Good contact for Shane Daly. Gets away to Keith Earls. Almost up to the halfway line here. Oh, sorry, the 10-meter line inside Stormers half. Puts his head down as Wishley. And it's a penalty against Munster. Well, for Munster against Stormers. I think it's on Brock Harris for not releasing is the call. What do you think of the Bok game earlier? Yeah, well, I think anybody that watched it can attest to the fact that I was quite excited. Yeah, what a time. What a time. Right, so Carberry will go towards the corner. It's a decent kick from him. He finds touch about 10 meters short of the try line here. Right, so right up against half time, the Stormers can defend this on the left hand side in the corner. They can still defend this and go into half time with a 15-0 lead. Then who would have thought about that? I definitely wouldn't have called that. So it's a big moment for the Stormers. They've got to front up. Right, where's Munster going to go? Where's Munster going to go? They got to clear in the front. Big shove there from the Stormers. Hard work here from the Stormers. Here comes the call to use it once. Desperately trying to find some forward momentum. Evan Lewis is working through the middle, trying to get his hands on the ball. They do use it. And then Scannell is the crash ball option there. Quick ball. Oh, he must say, saw a bit of space there to Craig Casey. Quickly wrapped up by Salman Murat. The Hooter is gone, so this will be the last play of the game. Unless there is a penalty, of course. Pick up and goes here. Some very desperate defense there by RJ Smith. Salman Murat. Yeah, I'm about to say he slipped, so he's conceded a penalty advantage for offside. They're going for all the points here. A couple pick up and go. They're parked on the try. Oh, there it is, try. Yeah, Munster finally hit back. They were under a lot of pressure there with the Stormers. Desperate defending, but it was kind of inevitable with the amount of pressure. Well, frustrating for Stormers, but I think they'll take that, to be honest. If they had said at the kickoff that you were going to go into the change in 15-7 up, they've grabbed that and ran. So, yeah, I mean, that's not the worst result, to be honest. I think they'll be pretty happy with that first half. Frustrating to concede right at the end because that would have been a big confidence booster. But, yeah, where are we at? Thinking our first game against Wales followed a week England. Yeah. Going to be a very interesting international end of year tour. Saki, first appreciate you. Neutral commentary and analysis given here. Well, I wouldn't say we're neutral here, but genuine, I think, is the word. And he nails the conversion there, Carberry. So 70 points to 15. Well, what a half from Stormers. Really, really have been impressive. They came out firing and looking very bright in attack, using the space very well. Mani Leebox looking full of confidence. I'm enjoying Stefan Ungra. Warwick Halant's looking dangerous as well. We've seen Evan Lewis with a couple of very nice carries. The locks, for me, have been very impressive. Both Salman Murat and RJ Smith are operating very well. You can't have asked much more from Stormers, really. And a lot of people, I must admit, I kind of wrote them off based on what I saw last weekend. But they've turned up today, and the question is, how long can they maintain this pressure? Can they keep going? Can they go all the way? We'll find out in the second half. Before I have a quick break and go to the bathroom, let's see what everybody else has got to say. Clint says, Stephen, if you change your commentary, then I will unsubscribe. Well, there we have it. You made the decision for me. Cammy says, yeah, I was also thinking of our next game on 6th November against Wales. We'll talk about that a lot tomorrow night. We're going to be doing a bit of a breakdown of where to now that we've finished the Rugby Championship. Enjoying your runners. Look, I mean, it's going down a bit like knives for after last night, but we got to push through. Cameron Clarence says 13 November, Scotland, 20 November, England. All 3 games will be huge. I kind of feel like watching the box game again. It was a real nail biter. Now, look, I mean, we could put that on repeat, couldn't we? Here we go. The downfall is coming. Just one try. It's just one try. Ever heard about Gerard de Villiers? I haven't. Stormers, good says Fiatra. Esquiva says very good half from the Stormers. Getting the changing room. Yep. Munster has the momentum now. Stormers line are good. Galanta's been brilliant so far. Cammy says they are playing well today compared to other games. Hey, and Grant Swas is joining just in time for the second half. Your boys are operating, Grant. They're operating. We'll be very proud of them. Anyway, I'm going to the bathroom quickly. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We need 12 people to get to 8,200. So feel free to oblige. And I'll chat to you guys in a little bit. Right, and we're back. What a half from the Stormers. They lead Munster 7 points to 15. A big second half to come. We're going to look at some of the stats from the first half, which was dominated by the Stormers. And just some very, very impressive performances. I think Manny Leibach's operating the backline very well. Very impressed with the two locks. I think Salman Murat and RJ Smith have really fronted up physically. Them and Evan Lewis have been putting in some big shifts, some big tackles, and it's making a big difference. And some credit to them. And yeah, it's just a couple of very good individual performances. I think Warwick Kalant's been terrific tonight. We've been talking about the fact that he is the very replacement in theory. Or would have been if he hadn't been injured and he would have been part of the box squad. And he's just playing so well at the moment. But if we look at some of the stats from the first half there, possession is 50-50. But territory-wise, it's 56% for the Stormers. 2 tries to 1, the Munster getting a late try towards the end of the half. But Stormers have beaten 18 defenders so far, and compared to Munster's 6. They've had 4 clean breaks, more gain line carries, more passes, twice the amount of offloads. Turnovers 1 are 4-3 in favour of Munster. Not kicking too much of the Stormers, only 6 kicks from hand in that first half. They've also only missed 5 tackles out of 65, operating at a 92% tackle success rate. And not only that, but they're making big tackles. I mean, that tackle on, I think it was on Klein from Salman Murat, was absolutely huge. Makes the hit, drives him back about almost 10 meters. It was a huge hit from him. And that's the sort of, the moments that really inspire players around you. When you see your captain nailing one of their biggest players and driving him back, you're going to sit there saying, right, that's the expectation. That's what I have to do. So very impressed with Salman Murat. Very impressed with RJ Smith. The loose share is looking good as well. Evan Lewis is full of running. Now McClyde is a menace at the breakdown. And Willie Engelbrecht's been a bit quiet in comparison, but he's been pretty solid. Goal kicking wise, look, Manny Leibach's left a couple of points out there. He's got 2 from 4 at the moment. Rucks are looking pretty solid, but the Stormers just need to sort out their line-out. They've had 2 decent line-outs over the top, which are Dan du Plessis, but also having lost 2 line-outs already. Scrums, they seem to be fine. In fact, they actually seem to be dominating the scrums. So they'll be enjoying that as well. But what have we got to say here? So, Ash talking about the referee. Look, I mean, I can't actually remember which the incident you're referring to. But Jaden Beard says, come on, the Stormers. Hello, Sebastian. He says, hope you're well. Yeah, I think all good this side. The South Africans are very happy with life at the moment. I mean, the Stormers are doing well. The Box won today, so plenty of happy South African rugby fans. Ezekiel says, for top 14, Castro is leaving in the 24th minute, 13-6 against Toulon. Oh, got a bit of hiccups there. Elsewhere, I see that Ospreys are currently leading Cardiff 12 points to 7 through 4 penalties from Gareth Anscombe and for Cardiff a try from Josh Adams. Good to see Josh Adams back into the Cardiff. So I'm trying to see which of the Lions are back here in this other game. So in the other game, because I actually missed the teams. So Josh Adams is playing. So he's back there. Tomo Williams is playing. I don't see too many of the Lions back. So I think it looks like it's just Josh Adams. And obviously you got Adam Beard on the bench as well. But good to see them back. I mean, it'd be nice to see all of the British and Irish Lions back to their clubs over the next couple of months. I mean, you want to be able to play against them, don't you? I want to see our players playing against your Josh Adams, your Hamish Watsons, your Jack Conans, those sort of players. Good first half performance from the Stormers, says Jahan. They actually used the back line, kept the ball alive. Kevin says, so much rugby on, can't keep up. Yeah, 100%. Know the feeling. It is becoming very difficult to see what's going on. But Joe, we've got 40 minutes left of rugby, and then tomorrow we've got one game. It is Leinster taking on Dragons. Lacanya will be live, taking you through that. Hopefully he doesn't have any internet issues, which he has had a couple over the last day or two, which is strange for... he's at a very prestigious private school, so they should have nice Wi-Fi. But yes, Mimenia says wives and girlfriends not happy. I'm surprised Benjamin Paletta hadn't gotten any chance with Argentina. He plays great for top 14. Well, I could be seeing him quite soon. Also, we're going to see a lot of Argentinian players in the URC because a lot of them play at some of the various clubs. But yeah, it's been a good weekend. United buckled. And the Lions lost, but I was pretty encouraged by some of the Lions' performances. Got our first shirt done from the merch store, and I'm quite happy with how it came out. So hopefully try and get some more fan tees out there. Picking up our first order of Forever Sports golfers on the week as well, this coming week, which will be quite cool. And obviously the box this morning. So yeah, it's been a good weekend. And I'm going to play golf tomorrow morning. Try and, maybe you just want to get back to the 90s. Scoring 90s. I mean, I'm just playing such bad golf the other day. I need to get better. Much, much better. So hopefully that goes tomorrow. I'll tell you what it goes tomorrow night. We will be on we will be live. It'll probably be quite a late one. It could be like 9 or 9:30 tomorrow night. We're going to be actually just talking about how we move forward as the box. Please watch about Gerard de Villiers and pickup skills. Good information. I will check them out, Rian. Luke McKady says, how can Rugby grow as a sport globally and get better to watch? Okay, kickoff here. So Munster have gone quite deep towards the right-hand side to Dan du Plessis off the kickoff there, who managed to get away from him and eventually secure the ball. Exit play is so important here. So Storm's going to start off well. Good to Dan du Plessis to secure the ball. Now Stefan Anger's going to go to the boot. Needs to find a decent touch finder, which he does. He finds it towards 10 meters. That's decent exit play from the Stormers. Just for the t-shirt you're wearing, have you no shame? Mate, I've got zero shame. You know me by now. Zero shame. Can't have shame in this industry. It's a decent win there from Munster. Oh, Keith Earl's running a really good run. It's a very good defensive read by Dan du Plessis. Nice tackle on him. Carberry now going left. Haley, tries to put the ball to the boot, and it comes off Sergio Peterson as he wants to try to go down the left-hand side there. On the 10-meter line, running the hands there. Carberry going inside to the big tight head. That is Keenan Knox. Now, a bit of space down the left that they want to use it. They throw the bar side wide to Haley, and he steps inside of Sergio Peterson, but Scarra and Tabeni is across to make the tackle. Nama Klaba wants to have a go, but misses it. Inside ball to Jean Klein from Knox. Now Haley sort of coming in from the wing, drifting inside, being brought down by Nama Klaba. The ball sort of starts to the left. Oh, it's a very intelligent pass from Willie Engelbrecht. And Evan Roos is away. Storm is turning it over. And now Stefan Angres. He's in his own half, so he puts it quite deep. And so the kick is returned there from Munster. Stefan Angres goes inside to Warwick Gelant. Now what's Gelant going to do? He sees a bit of space down the right-hand side. Throws a pretty poor pass, but Sergio Peterson is there. Oh, and he throws just behind Ronald there from Sergio Peterson. That's a bit of a basic error. Sebastian says it's a beautiful sport, but it has got such slim chance against football in parts of Europe, South America. Look, I think rugby, in terms of growing the global game, you got to get your big boys playing. You got to get USA operating at a decent level. Yeah, I think you need to make it more accessible. I think World Rugby needs to focus more on the smaller nations to get them more involved. We need to see more Fiji rugby. We need to see more Samoan rugby. We need to see more from Uruguay. I really like the whole idea of that World Series. I thought that was very cool. And then they've done away with it because they worried about too much rugby, even though I think it was an extra 2 games. But anyway, solid win there from Munster, running their hands there, but it's a bit of a poor pass, and Gavin Coombs is having to clean up. I think there was a knock on. Oh, no, they're going back for a yellow card, and I think Salman Murat's going to the bin. Wow, after a storming first half. I don't know why we're looking at the wrong thing here. So Salman Murat has been carded. He's been sent off for something at the lineup. We're going to have to go back and have a look to see exactly what it was. But that's a huge loss. That could be a very big turning point in the game, actually. So it sounds like Murat took a man out in the line-out, and that's why he's been binned. That's a huge loss. Big turning point here for Munster. They can score here. That's their way back into the game. Kieran says, Ahu like a golf game against Stephen PE versus Joburg, mate. I think most people will beat me in a round of golf. It's not particularly hard. Inside ball there off the back of the line-out for Daly. They've got a penalty advantage to do Munster as well. Scannell trying to get everywhere. Villiers Engelbrecht over the ball. I'll just put having a go, but there's a penalty advantage from Munster, who works to the left to Keith Earls. Or Jeepers, this kick comes straight off Sergio Peterson and then eventually lands in the hands of Evan Ruiz. They will go back for the penalty. The intensity of this game has been very, very good, and I'll be very surprised if Stormers can keep this up because it has been a very, very frantic game. Grant Swell says Nama Klava will be in the box squad by the next World Cup. Hopefully Vince too can get a citizenship sort of join him. Yeah, good shouts, good shouts. He threw Lacania past Evan Ruiz. Yeah, 100%. Come on, guys, concentrate. We need that 2027 World Cup to have 32 national teams, 8 groups, 4 teams per group. Yeah, I want to see a bigger World Cup. They've gone for the line here, Munster, not taking the 3 points. Want to try and use this one-man advantage. Right, first things first, Munster, they've got to secure the line out. So Scannell will probably find one of his big locks in the likes of Jean Klein or Finney Witcherley. I still would have liked to have seen the replay on Salman Murat's car. We actually don't know what he flipping got sent off for. They go towards the back. Amani there taking it. But they've sacked it successfully there, the Stormers. So that's a nice moment. The ball does not seem to be coming out. It's eventually seemed to pop up there to be available. Pick up and go from Scannell. Well met by Scarron to Benny, his opposite number. Another pick and go, slightly short there, getting very close. Another pick up and go. They got it over. There's the grounding. Desperate defense here from the Stormers. They've gone again, still short. And there, I think we've gone over. Short. Well, this is unbelievable from the Stormers. How long can they carry this on? Surely it's coming. Surely it's coming. They went for the other side, but it's still short. This is brilliant defense. That's just quick hands. And they eventually get the try. They eventually get their award. And there's the South African born lock, Jean Klein, who will come away with it. Munster hit back. This is game on. This is game on. I mean, it was pretty desperate. It was very solid defense right over here. I mean, they weren't giving an inch with the Stormers, but just the quick hands is what outdid them. Andy says they're way too strict with cards. Mamiya says ref even went to bipolar mode. I hear Agara is on the bench today, says Ruan. And yeah, I think for real that this ref has been brought over for second half. Well, they're gonna have a look here. They're gonna have a look. Apparently, bite on red too. Who's biting now? Barry says not enough teams good enough for the 32-team World Cup. Yeah, look, I mean, there aren't, but we're never going to get there until we start getting more opportunity, aren't we? Kevin says Stormers running out of gas. Kevin says druk, Stormers druk. Whatever the ref does, he can't be worse than Nick Berry. Decent shout. So apparently there's a bite. What are we looking at here? Who's it on? So he reckons that he's been bitten by RJ Smith. Look, he is sitting there holding RJ Smith in. So it looks like Scannell is busy holding RJ Smith, who's pretty much got his face buried in his back, in his lap, and apparently has a bit of a cheeky bite. We're not going to see anything here. You're not going to see anything. Well, that's the thing. Well, Scannell is holding him in his lap. So look, I mean, it looks like he's getting it. I mean, you can't see anything there. You know, you can't see anything. So look, if there is a bite, it's a red card, but you can't see anything there. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. So he survives, does RJ Smith. It might be cited. It could yet be cited, but I mean, you're not going to find anything there. So very, very interesting there. Look, it's very usually when someone says it's a bite, there's a bite. So yeah, I think they've gone away with one. But also, I mean, he's holding the player in as well. So not saying that he deserves to be bitten, but you can't say that I'm surprised that there was a reaction of some sort. All right, well, it's a 1 point game all of a sudden. 7 minutes into the second half. Murat's still a couple of minutes on the sidelines in the bin. So deep kickoff there. It goes to Shane Daly. It goes to Kevin Coombs. Decent carry there from Watchalong, getting us outside the 22. Carberry goes for a bit of a cross up and under there. Quite a big test for Watchalong, who is wrapped up by Galvin Nash, but he gets a couple of offloads, and Ruan now still going. Eventually goes down and presents the ball for Stefan Ungra. He goes to the left. Dan Duplessis is very isolated, so he has to. Oh, sorry, it's Evan Ruiz, so he has to go by himself. Strong carry from him. Now Leland Zas. Oh, must have get a penalty there. Well, mate, I mean, a lot of people complaining about the referee, and there does seem to only be one arm working here. I think it's a bit of a harsh call. I'm trying to figure out what this is on. What this is for. It's against Netling Bashir, who is being penalised for going off his feet at the breakdown, or is it from the side? It looks slightly from the side. So yeah, in at the side is the shot. Yeah, I did kind of look from the side, so I think it's almost fair enough. But Stormers discipline, that's what's letting them down at the moment. That yellow card, Simon, which we still have not seen, is frustrating. So I mean, yeah, if anybody's got a flipping link to a video or something. Number 20, they've taken off Monty Liebach. Well, that's a huge call. Monty Liebach has gone off, and they've put on Tim Sweel, which I think is a huge call. I thought Monty Liebach was playing it very well. Messy line out there. But Craig Casey comes away with the ball. And Vinny Engelbert about to could almost see the penalty. Well, big game for Tim Sweel now. He's got to try and establish a bit of calm. He's a very good, very, very composed player, Tim Sweel. A much better goal kicker from Monty Liebach as well. But Munster on the attack here. Craig Casey going to Carberry. Sorry, it's not Carberry. It's Roy Scannell who goes himself. Casey now going to the right. Oh, it's a good offload. Oh, there's so much space. Oh! What are you doing? The replacement, Jeremy Lauman, has run away. I mean, it was literally about a 7-on-1 situation. He's on himself. Look, there's still a lot of players. Craig Casey snipes by himself. He gets wrapped up. Advantage for offside. And they'll go back for the penalty. But the replacement, Jeremy Lauman, has completely butchered that. Goodness me. There were about 5 players overlap, and he decides to go himself. That's horrendous. Sebastian said, Luis Suarez, multiple-time Golden Tooth Award winner. Come on, Tim Sweel, says Kurt. Maybe the Stormers want to go for penalties. Stormers are stressing now. Kevin says the World Cup format will be great, but more needs to be done to grow the game in other countries. The IRB needs the USA market for the cash injection, but COVID has messed things up. Agreed. Losing momentum now. Yeah, look, momentum's definitely swung in the way of the hosts. Stormers' first game, let game and get away from them. Yeah, then you're seeing a bit of a similar thing now, aren't we? Munster player hits a Stormers player with his shoulder and nothing. Holy cow, what was Lyman thinking? He must have been. No, that was horrendous. Well, here comes a big driving maul. They're off to a decent start here on Munster. They've got the entire backline involved as well. So we'll be surprised if they don't get over here. Well, so far it's been held up. The calls come to use it once. And here it comes, and they're over. In fact, are they over? He has awarded it, and Munster go into the lead. Well, there it is. We sense the momentum changing. The yellow card, I think, is going to be the biggest moment, and Simon Murat has let us slide down by getting sent off. Not that we know what exactly it was for, because we haven't seen it. But, yeah, they're piling on the pressure now, and that, I mean, we saw backline players involved there. A player down, and once that more gets set up like that, with the amount of players, it kind of becomes inevitable. He almost comes a bit short here. But eventually, Scannell does get the ball over, and Munster take the lead, 19 points to 15. Not been the start to the half that the Stormers wanted. Hoot says, Sean, I saw a Munster player holding a Stormers player, and the Munster player got overlooked. 21-50 in 10 minutes, how bad is that? Yeah, I mean, literally, in the last 12 minutes, they've conceded 21 points. The ref is one-sided as usual, says Saki. The MRL is growing, started with 7s and now will have 13 teams next season, so who knows? Yeah, I'm keen to see how the Major League Rugby sort of moves on. We saw that Scott Matty's gone overseas to coach there, and Carby has pulled that conversion. So it's a 4-point game. It was deliberate knock-on apparently. Yeah, I just want to see it. I just want to be able to see what Murat did. Was also supported in the United game today. Drew, yeah, no, listen, we don't need to talk about Manchester United. There's no need to go down that dark path. Second, the referees are poor. It's not a matter of interpretation. Right. Well, I think Salman Murat should probably be on quite soon. Yeah, he's standing up, ready to come back on as the Stormers captain. He had a very good first half. So he's going to need to make amends for his yellow card. Quite a deep restart there from Tim Sweel. Kick chase coming for Cyril Pearson, but Shane Daly runs into RJ Smith, who was accused of biting. So it'll be interesting to see if that gets cited at a later stage. And then Craig Casey going into the touch finder and finding a decent touch finder, getting up towards the halfway line. Very nice exit play there from Munster. Oh, I think it was touched, by the way. It's a Munster throw-in, so that's a brilliant kick from Casey. Second half, ref meeting allow Munster to store more for longer periods. So Edville van der Merwe has picked up a slight knock, so he was not available. That's why Leon Zas is into the side. And Salman Murat has returned. Right, you need a big game now, chap. Quick use of this scandal onto the midfield. Solid carry there. I think it's Gavin Coombs. Now Casey goes high. Chasing hard is Daly. Tested for Sergio Peterson, who doesn't manage to gather it, and they regather it. Oh, the ball out wide from Scandal, not going to hand. If he had gone to Longman and he managed to pick it up, it could have been interesting. But yeah, Storm was under the pump. Seriously under the pump. Yeah, it was a good challenge there from Shane Daly up against Sergio Peterson, who can't gather. And Carby is the one that gets the ball back. And just trying to get that offload. I mean, quick hands there from Scandal, but Laumann there not able to hold on to it. Now Stefan Ungra receiving some more medical attention. I don't think it'll be long before we do see a replacement scrum half. He has been in a lot of pain this half. Right, so it'll be a Stormers line out on the 22 on the left-hand side of the park. Let's see what they can do from here. Actually, I think they can go back to basics and calm things down a little bit. 3-man line-out here for the Stormers. They go to Villa Engelbrecht in the front. And they're going to have more here. And it's come down. So it's available for Stefan Ungra. And Kevin Coombs has turned it over on the ground there. So that's a very big turnover for Munster, suddenly on the attack. I think he's won a penalty here. He has won a penalty. Well, that's a massive turnover there from Gavin Coombs. He's won a penalty in a very kickable position. And if I reckon Munster take, well, it depends. One more try, and they've got a bonus point. So it must be tempting to go for the corner, which I think is what they're going to do. Matthew Dixon, Steve, do you have any chance to know which Chelsea are on the Premier League table? Yeah. We all know where you are. Barry says the refs are not poor. It's the Southern game which do not enforce the rules. Are you perhaps doing a last year in T20 World Cup? Gets too long. Yeah, we'll think about it. If South Africa gets like the semi-finals and stuff like that, we might do that. Cameron says games are very differently to how Southern Hemisphere games are. This is a huge adjustment for SA teams. It shouldn't be. SA have lots of players playing in Europe. And this is Munster B team. Look, I mean, the Stormers also get a lot of players back. So I wouldn't say anyone gets to say, this is our B team and your A team at the moment. Right, well, there we go. Masimla's on for Ungra. They've gone for the corner here. So Munster going for that fourth bonus point try. Well, they've moved. They've shifted the contact. The rolling ball is going. It's going. As they got grounding, they're over the line there. No, they're trying to recycle it. Keenan Knox. Pick up and goes himself. Comes up short. Pick up and go again. And there's grounding. Well, there it is. And the Stormers, for all they were so good in the first half, are crumbling in the second half. 50 minutes in, and Munster scored their third try of the half. That's their bonus point try as well. They move on to 24 points, and the Stormers is unfortunately not being able to physically match up at the moment. Like he says, Munster team not running away there, but the referee punished Stormers multiple times earlier on. The refs are poor, so I think the refereeing will be quite an interesting discussion moving forward. I do think that there does need to be quite a big adjustment from our teams who do seem to be struggling with the current interpretations. And Samarat, they're being warned again. He had a penalty advantage against him. So he needs to play. He needs to just be a bit careful as Samarat. Doesn't want to be. Imagine another yellow card. Imagine being a red card. It'll be horrendous for him. Us 26-15. Stormers have no answer. Munster doing the same the Stormers did to them in the first half. Yeah, they've looked very good. Very, very good. Carberry now will try to add the extra. It's a very, Basse comes off the pole. It's very casual from Joey Carberry. So he doesn't add the extra 2, so it'll remain a 9-point game. Kenny says, Stormers back to the drawing board, boys. Grant Swan said, I think I jinxed the Stormers as soon as I started watching, they started to crumble. Yeah, it's all your fault. All your fault. If anyone needs somebody to blame, you can all blame Grant. Right. Stormers probably just need to slow things down, go back to basics here. Good evening, Patrick. Hope you're well. Well, they've just allowed that to bounce there, have Munster. And Craig Casey under a lot of pressure. Well, that's a nice opportunity for Stormers. So a really bad kickoff there, and they just sort of bounced there. And Craig Casey had a lot of pressure, had to clean up, and he's found touch on the 22. So Stormers now with an attacking line on the 22. Now, this is a big moment. If you can score here, oh, jeepers me. There he comes. The missing link, the Neanderthal, the offload king, Archer Sneeman walks onto the park for Munster. Sebastian's saying it's heartbreaking what's happening for the SA sides in the URC. It takes a lot of time to get used to the Northern Hemisphere style. Sucks as they're running Liebach for a slow sweel. This month's going to be so painful for us. Yeah, we could be a bit of a long one for us, but we'll move. Right, so we go to the front of the lineup there. Solid win there by Mahoney. So it's looking more here. They're on a bit of a run here on Munster. Right up against the touchline though, so Scannell does have to use it. He goes to Coombs, who's eventually brought down by Brock Harris and Tim Sweel. And they go to the boot there on the left-hand side. Munster tested for Turtle Pearson, who goes up and he's smashed on the way down, but he does well to retain possession. Dan Duplessis. Nearly Bashir not taking up. Stormers inside their own half on the 10-meter line. Now Gollum Simmer going to shape for the box kick. He does put it to the boot. Leon Zash chasing hard. It's right up against the touch line. Very nice take up the air to Haley. Then gets the offload, which looked a little bit forward to O'Donoghue. Munster all of a sudden on the attack. They go to Carberry. Swings it wide. Scannell kicks it in behind. That is a brilliant usage of the 50-22. Is it a 50-22 though? I think they were in their own half, weren't they? I mean, he's found touch on the 5-meter he has. I mean, that's a fantastic kick. But I'm not sure that I think they carried it back though, so I don't think it is a 50-22. Yeah, it's a Stormers like. These commentators need to learn the blooming rules. They keep doing it where they keep mistaking. Just because you're kicking it from your half doesn't mean it's a 50-22. It's only a 50-22 if play originated in your own half. Oh, well, jeepers me. I mean, Keith Earls leaves the park and Simon Zebo, Munster's record try scorer, walks onto the field. So, I mean, not the worst replacement to have, is it? It's a very competitive lineup there. RJ Smith almost taken out in the air there, winning it for the Stormers. Scarron to Benny, yeah, about a penalty there for playing through there. So Stormers get a penalty and they'll be able to keep themselves out of a little bit of pressure. Billy Engelbrecht having quite a lot to say. But having a talking here from Billy Engelbrecht, who's not happy with Only. Right, we were saying in the comments, yeah. So GHB says seems like fitness isn't up to standard. All of our teams perform way worse in the second half. Alton says still time left for comeback Stormers. It just doesn't make any sense for us to be unfit because we have had a full season, so we shouldn't be unfit. So I mean, it could be a fitness, but it shouldn't be. There's no reason for it to be. Should be. As honestly, I think the teams are going to take a while to adjust. It's going to be a long competition. Agreed. Got a couple of replacements here. I think for the Stormers. No, it looks like a couple of jeepers. Here comes the Stormers front row. I'm seeing Sadie Sandy. I'm seeing Andre Hugo Fenter, and I think I'm seeing Leon Lyons. Yeah, so an all new front row for the Stormers. Go to the front of the line. They've stolen the line up there. So Andre Hugo Fenter's first contribution is to give away a line 2 months to a suddenly on the attack here. It almost looked like a blooming Munster line that was so telegraphed. I don't know, he brushes off Clubber. Yeah, and you see the Stormers not being able to do the basics, but the line has been an issue. Oh, that's a nice big hit. That's an early touch there from Sally Sunday, driving lineman back. Craig Casey cleaning up, and he's eventually brought down by Willie Engelbrecht. And Salman Rat almost over that ball trying to win it back. And Scannell has dropped it in contact, so it will be a knock-on. We'll see a first scrum here from our Stormers front row replacements. Where we at here? So Sebastian's fun fact, the ref Andrew Brace worked as a rugby officer for Munster for 7 years. That's convenient. What's better than Northern Hemisphere, the Southern Hemisphere rugby teams? I don't know, actually. I mean, you'd think that. I think they're probably more. Well, they are more Southern. I mean, I think across the talent, there are more Northern Hemisphere sides who are at a higher level. But in terms of the best team in the world, I don't know. I mean, you put Crusaders up against a Toulouse, and who's winning? Cruz is Fenter going to make trouble? Well, first of all, he's just given away possession, so hopefully he can do better than that. I think you probably find team by your top 4 sides in the Southern Hemisphere versus your top 4 sides in the Northern Hemisphere. The Southern Hemisphere is probably better, but there are fewer Southern Hemisphere sides when you think 4 New Zealand sides, 4 Australian sides, pretty much 4, maybe 5 South African sides compared to all the Premiership sides, the 14 French sides, the 4 Irish sides, 4 Welsh sides, 2 Scottish sides. So there are far more teams in the Northern Hemisphere that play at this sort of level. GHB says, well, could be the way the tactics are set up. Rugby is a lot less time if you know how to pace yourself. Coming from a hooker who switched to flank. Everybody's back in the Southern Hemisphere shout. Rion's having a fantastic time. Mate, if you're gonna go after me for a commentary, can you at least spell golf correctly? And commentary. If you're gonna go at me, it's fine, but at least have the decency to use the English language correctly, please. I think that's a common courtesy. What do you reckon? So if you're gonna come at me, just spell things correctly. It's not hard. You got spell check. Install Grammarly or something. Sort yourself out, mate. Cameron says, are we talking club rugby? What about? I'm assuming we talk. Actually, I don't know about club rugby and stuff. Look, I can't say that I watch enough. And I don't know. When we get a Club World Cup, we might be able to see. So it's scrum here from the Stormers, by the way. Evan Rose picks up and goes to Godlem Assembly. He's going himself. Pass out to Cedric Pearson, who cuts to the side. He's well wrapped up, but they're up to the halfway line of the Stormers. It's a nice break down the right-hand side. Billy Engelbrecht seems Sweel going to Dan Duplessis, who throws a long pass out to Ruan Null. And Leon Luss has to come in and clean up. But there was an offside there from Munster. So it's a penalty for the Stormers in the middle of the park, right towards the right-hand side. So that's a nice opportunity for them. High tackle is the call. So Stormers can sort of kick towards touch. Issachivas Crusaders are the best. 4 straight Super Rugby champs. Trans-Tasman doesn't count. Still went undefeated. And he says the Southern Hemisphere has 8 World Cups. Northern Hemisphere has 1 World Cup. Oh, yeah, I mean, look, international ones, we walk the floor. There's no doubt about that. We look at the world rankings. They literally are 1, 2, 3. South Africa, 1. Australia and New Zealand, New Zealand second, Australia third. Kevin said, I think the NPC teams will be any of the teams in the URC. I don't know. I mean, Leinster, hey? Crusaders are good at home only. I mean, they're pretty good in most places, but how many tries are scored now? We've got 2 tries for Stormers, 4 for Munster, so 6 tries in the game. Somebody said we were going to see 6 tries. So, first things first, we're going to win the line out here. The inside of the 22 are the Stormers. Andre Hugo Venter controlling things at the back, son of Andre Venter, the legendary Springbok flank. Got him a similar, trying to get that ball, and Venter comes away with it, goes down, presents to him a similar. Oh, they've come straight through. It's not backwards, so this is really backward ball there. Tim Sweel trying to clean up. He's very isolated, needs a bit of support. It does come in the form of Leon Lyons. Another ball away to Evan Ruiz, but they've been pinned back to almost 10 meter of the Stormers. Gelant, inside ball to Duplessis. It's a nice angle run there. And Willie Engelbrecht, in trying to clean out, has almost given the ball away. But they've got a penalty advantage here. Leon Lyons carrying it up. Helped out by Sazi Sandi. And a penalty right in front of the poles here for Stormers. But I don't see the... in fact, actually, wouldn't be the worst idea, to take the 3 points. 16 minutes to go. You take the 3 points, you get 18 points. You get yourself within a converted try. So, yeah, someone that's going to point to the point. I don't think that's the worst decision, Sebastian says, you think that Southern countries, Manukau can defeat Munster? Interesting opinion. Yeah, I said a big call to say the clubs can beat some of these sides. I don't know. When we get a Club World Cup, hopefully we'll be able to see more about it. Someone said 7. If it's tries, it's definitely 6. It's on the screen. Matthew Dixon says, if 20 African countries invest in development programs and facilities and each create 4 pro teams, Africa alone would have 94 pro teams. It's a good. I mean, if you do the maths, there's definitely. I mean, there's so many people in Africa. There's so many countries. There's so much athleticism in this place. We just don't seem to be able to get it right. Well, it's right in front from Tim Sweel. He's added the 3 extra points, so Stormers get their first points of the second half on the board. Simon says, I'm from New Zealand, and that is the most idiotic statement to make about the NPC teams beating the UFC, maybe Zebra or Dragons, but that's very highly unlikely. Well, there we go. Thanks, Chanley. I'll get my clock going again. We're 65 minutes now and 16 seconds. RJ Smith makes way. I think it's a very good first game from RJ Smith. I was pretty impressed with him. Who will score the next try? Well, who knows? If it's Stormers, they're suddenly back into it. So Marcel Tennyson's on for Namaklaba, who they are trying to protect. He is quite injury prone. So that's a decent shot there. Had a very good game, though. A bit quiet in the second half, but a stormy first half. It's funny that we're talking about the referee and our WhatsApp group. Lacanya's busy bringing it up, saying that he reckons we're getting nailed quite harshly here. Well, that's a very good kick chase from Sergio Peterson. Penalty here. Haley's down. I'm not quite sure who hit him here. This could be a bit naughty from the Stormers. So Haley goes up. Sergio Peterson. No, man, come on. These commentators need to relax as well. Yeah, thank you. The commentators were going after initially, but we go back and look at the chase of Sergio Peterson, and it's a rugby collision. They've both got eyes on the ball. They're both going anywhere near it. It pops down. Haley stayed down. There's nothing in it. Nothing in it. David Russell says, SA team is not going to get much done. We'll get better next season if they're going to do their homework. Off topic from this game, if the Box can just sort out their exit, then we'll seriously up our game. Yeah, that was our only issue. No, come on, man. You cannot award a penalty for that. You've got to be allowed to flip and compete. This is so irritating. That should not be a penalty. Even the commentators say it's a rugby collision. They're both going for the ball. They both got it horribly wrong, by the way. None of them got even close to it. And Munster get a penalty for that. That's a really poor call. Yeah, I'll be very, very grieved with that call. I think that's a horrendous call. Ben Healy's on the park. As always, thank you for your commentary. It's a pleasure. Elephants, leopards, griffins, falco. Yeah, Iskokiva talking about our other sides. They're nice to see Stormers actually being compared to for once. They actually played pretty well. Is South Africa back in front in the world rankings? We are indeed. That's a fantastic kick from Healy. He's put him on the 5 meter. As like he says, how's that penalty? I don't know, to be honest. Last I checked, we were first. New Zealand was 8 behind us. Yeah, happened to Dwayne Formula 2. Game has gone soft. It's not even just soft. It's just I don't see what the point is. I mean, how can you not? It's a bit like the I mean, like France Danger. I thought that was. I'm glad that they put that down to just a penalty. And even then, I thought it was a bit harsh. But the penalty against Damien Delinde for going for the interception, like, come now, that was a genuine attempt. This whole thing of you have to use 2 hands, I think, is stupid. Taking them out earlier, that was pretty clear. Arke Snyman has drawn it away. He's got the ball in one hand, looking for that offload. He's gone all the way as Arke Snyman. Well, he is an absolute giant, and that's a dagger to the heart of Stormers players and fans. Arke Snyman's the man that's done it, but I don't think they should have been there. I think that's a horrendous call. Well, he's so busy looking for the offload that eventually he goes himself. But I mean, it's Tim Swiel and then Leon Lyons, and he's always going to get over there. But I just don't think they should have been there. I don't understand how both players can go for a ball, neither of them get anywhere near it. It's not like he got to the ball first and then Sergio Pearson took him off. They took him out. They both completely misjudged it. So I don't understand how it suddenly becomes a penalty for Munster. I think it's a really poor call. But yeah, no, that's horrendous. That's horrendous. Cameron says, like I said, some of the rest interpretations are, it's not been great. It's just, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I think that call against Sergio was very harsh. But yeah, look, Arke Snyman's over. So from a Bok fan perspective, nice to see him doing well. Well, they've added the extra 2. So I think Munster are away here. I reckon that was it. As Tony Niles says, so powerful. He is just he's just an absolute colossus of a man. He's got the ball in one hand, just looking for that offload all the time as well. Gone down the middle to Gavin Coombs. There's opposite number Evan Lewis wrapping him up. But I think this is now a bridge too far from the Stormers. A converted try gets them within 7. They can at least get a point from it. Two tries get them a bonus point, but we're asking a lot for a side within 12 minutes. Galant has found a bit of space, giving it to Leon Lanzas after the kick ahead from Munster. Now similar to Fenter. Similar again. This time to Tim Swiel, who goes to Galant during the line. Chips ahead. And it's gonna be a bit of pressure here for Ben Mark Haley's just strolled down the middle there. Nobody's making the tackle, and he's kicked it ahead now as well. That's actually Iron has rolled. That is such a good kick. That's brilliant from Mark Haley. Under a lot of pressure, he burst through the middle, managed to get down the side. Then the little chip ahead, and the bounce was perfect. Jan van der Kran really enjoyed that. Just there, boom, straight through the middle of Rick's Pretorius and Sergio Pearson, going down the blind side there, chip ahead, which then rolls back inside. And suddenly it's a Stormers line on the 10 meter. That's a fantastic bit of exit play there from Haley. Gone over the top to Rick's Pretorius. We saw that to Dan Duplessis. Now Rick's Pretorius onto the park, and he's now immediately become the line-out option. And the ball was out there. No Stormers players are going for it. So Munster have jumped on it. As my stream takes a while to catch up. Galant bursts through, looking for support play. He's still going, Scully. He's still going for Galant. Just go! Just go as he got the pace. He taps to the head for Gondom similar. Munster eventually managed to get that so well played by Maurice Galant. Really unfortunate bounce of the ball. So Munster have managed to get possession back on their 22 under a lot of pressure. Just Galant just didn't quite have the pace. It was a nice idea to go to the boot. And similar, that ball just bounced a bit better. He might have been away. Now Arke Snyman puts his head down. Still in the 22 here, Munster. Hey, TV, sort yourself out. Going for the box kick here is Casey, and he'll find touch just before the 10-meter line there. Well, really pity. It was a fantastic break by Galant. He's been very good tonight. I've really enjoyed it. You can just see, just boom, sees the space, brushes in between 2 players, gets away from another one, hands off Casey. He's going, he knows there's another pace. He's looking for the options, tries to sort of put that kick to the side towards Gollum Simon and just spins back towards a couple of Munster players. But that's really good awareness of the space from Galant. Where we were with some of the comments. Well done, Ruan, on winning your 6.5 tries bet. Well, Craig Casey's off. I thought he had a decent game, and Rowan Osborne will take it to the field. John Reynolds, do you think Arceus will play for November test? We need him. I mean, I don't see why not. I think he should be back in the squad. We're going to have a chat to the captains here. They're not quite sure what about. Right, say that there's too much off-the-ball stuff, and the next time it happens, somebody's going to get binned. Ruan says apparently Dragons are going to get smashed by Leinster tomorrow. Well, we shall see, won't we? Jean says Stormers would look actually like a great side if they offload some of their average players like Sergio Peterson and Godlin similar. Well, yeah, Sergio Peterson himself. I think Sergio Peterson's been too bad tonight, to be honest. Defensively, he's a little bit suspect, but on the attack, or pick up and go from Evan Lewis, trying to nice continuity to Godlin similar. Look, they will get Herschel Yankees back. So, and Stefan Unger looks like a nice player as well. Ernst van Rijn with his first carry. And a penalty for taking the man off the ball. That's really poor there. But geez, I mean, I'd love to see what the penalty count is. Yeah, referee not happy with the comments off the ball. Yeah, right. So you can see Ernst van Rijn, and I think the call here is Leon Lyons just taking the man out off the ball beyond the ruck as well. Pretty poor from him as well. Cameron says, I understand, but the games are highly competitive. I do think the Suns, I think you're talking about the NPC there. Cameron says, that gap has just got big. No coming back now. Nice ever Stormers. You'll need to go back to the drawing board. Such a pity. Well, I mean, it showed that they were competitive for a decent amount of time. We need Kalant back in the box set up soon. Surely he goes in the November series. Cameron said, I'd really like to see some of the SA teams draw the players instead of taking the contact all the time. We don't need Archia. Got plenty of dedicated staffers. We definitely need Archia. Why would you not want Archia into the squad? Come now. Archie will be there for moral support. Was really hoping for a Stormers upset. Yeah, look, I mean, it would have been nice, but unfortunately, just not happening today. Alexander says Archie is busy growing into the complete package, and he's so young. Will definitely become the best in the world if he doesn't get injured. Big shot, but I don't think it's the most ludicrous one. Anyway, Stormers winning the ball back from that penalty, but they lost in the air, so it will be a knock-on. So we'll go back for a scrum for the Stormers. 72, almost 73 minutes played now. Yeah, Stormers will need a convert to try and get a bonus point out of this game. I don't see it happening, unfortunately. Ball over the top there. Wasn't a brilliant throw from Munster there. So Liverpool versus Man United. Well, I'm assuming versus Man City predictions. I actually don't know, to be honest. A draw would be nice. Do you think the Stormers must bear the quality of the Currie Cup in SA? No, not really. I think that we'll get a lot better as our spring must come back and as we adapt. I think it's just early days. Right, big scrum here for Stormers. You've got him as soon as available at the back. Breaks down the left. He's got Leon Zas with him. He gets away from one, getting the ball away to Leon Zas. Zas is looking for a bit of support. Gets the ball up to Marcel Tennyson. This is very good continuity from the Stormers who are into Munster's half. First man, they managed to win it back. Got him a similar. That's a very good little win on the ground there. Hugo Fence taking contact. Got him a similar. Now going Tim Sweel. He goes to Rickers Pretorius. Pretorius looks to straighten. Almost saw a gap there. Masimla goes to Sazi Sandi. It's a nice carry by him. Almost up to the 22 of the Stormers as Masimla works his way towards the left. Salman Murat at first receiver. Tim Sweel going to Warwick Kalant, who is flawed in the tackle there, as the commentator said. A bit of backwards ball here for Stormers, but they've still retained possession. They're just inside the 10-meter. Masimla going to Fenter. He was kind of almost had to stop as he received that. Now go forward ball here from Leon Lyons. And Ernst van Rijn filling it at scrum off. Now Warwick Kalant spotting a bit of space on the left. Inside ball to Tim Sweel, who drops it. I mean, come on, Tim. I mean, he looks at Warwick Kalant, but he ran the inside line, and then Warwick Kalant gave it to him, and he knocks it out. And that's really poor from Tim Sweel. I mean, he's literally asking for it, and then come on, mate. You've got to look at that, Tim Sweel. You've got to be looking at that. Right, so scrum here. It's a Munster ball. Pretty central, just by the 10-meter line. Less than 5 minutes left in the match. It's been a decent outing for Stormers. I think I've been quite impressed by the way they've managed to compete in that first 40 minutes. It's kind of a bit of a breakdown after that yellow card to Salman Murat. But to be honest, when they've been 15 and 15, it's been pretty even, and that's a pretty bad mistake from Rowan Osborne, who has kicked the ball straight into touch, and Stormers will have a line out just before the 10-meter line. So with 5 minutes to go, maybe a chance to try and get a converted try and get a bonus point for within 7. What kind of program software do you use for your background? It's all on OBS, and we design all our stuff using Photoshop, the sort of the standards. They go to Salman Murat. It's a decent win. Masimla goes to Marcel Tennyson. So carried by him. A similar quick ball to, it's pretty flat to Fenter. He gets away from one and gets to another. Now Masimla sniping himself, almost a little bit isolated, but support does come. Marcel Tennyson filling in there. Tim Swiel goes to Watchalong, who spots a bit of space. He now sees it comes down the middle. Gets the offload to Evan Ruiz, who's carried the ball solidly so far tonight. Now Tim Swiel looking for that inside ball. Goes himself. He's wrapped up. And it's once again available. Slow ball from Masimla. It's a penalty advantage for not rolling away. And they go offside as Tennyson gets through the middle. And we'll go back for the penalty. That's better from the Stormers. What's the name of the summer tour for the Europe? I hope so. As soon as these Northern Hemisphere teams play in SA, the heat will go to them. I see very few teams getting wins in SA. It will be tough for them to come down, yeah. As Cammy said, they need a rest. Imagine Watchalong playing in the backline with Alton Yankees running game for days. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? On the Kimberley pitch, thankfully for them, no matches in Kimberley. Are we number one in the world now or no? Yes, we are. Back into number one. So 3 minutes left. Now Fenter needs to throw it accurate the line out. And he's thrown it straight to Mahoney. I mean, what was that, Fenter? How do you, I mean, it's almost like telegraphed. He literally went up, went, oh, you want the ball? Here we go. So, yeah, Stormers losing the ball there. That's pretty poor from them. I mean, it's an old cliche saying as the ball goes back to Ben Healy, who pumps it down. I'm not sure he's going to find touch, It stays in field, Sergio Peterson. He goes to Warakalant. Now, what Warakalant going to do? He spots a bit of space there, so he's trying to run towards a couple of defenders. Now, loop pass over the top to Rix Pretorius. Rix Pretorius running very straight, putting his head down, going all the way into the 22. Quick ball there from Leon Zas. Evan Ruhr steps away from one, gets within 5. Masimla now going to Fenter. It's a good take from Fenter. The ball's quite far ahead of him. He's still going as Fenter. He's over the line, but they need to recycle it because he's not going to get that ball down. It has been held up. I'll tell you what, anything good attacking-wise from Stormers has come from Warakalant. The way he sees space is very impressive. Identifies where the space is, will move towards there, will throw the long pass, get players into space. He just looks like he's got time on the ball, and he's just very composed. What club does Alton Yankees play for? He's gone over to Japan. He's playing for Johan Ackerman, that bastard, who took Lions to the top of Super Rugby without winning it and then decided to go overseas and steal all our players. John says, hopefully we can attend a few games as fans soon. Our government needs to wake up. Yeah, well, I think it's on the table. It's on the table, and as soon as we are allowed back, we'll be back in there, you best believe. Neil says, hi, Stephen Glasgow fan. Will you be coming north to visit and do some shows from here? I would love to. It's my goal next year to try and get over there. We're going to need a lot more members and a lot more subs if you're going to try and afford that. But, I would love to go over there and probably sort of go in there in, like, the weekend before an international break. Just try and watch a weekend of URC and then watch, like, the box over in the Northern Hemisphere. It's, like, my dream to do that. One day. Anyway, they've gone deep here. Munster from the restart. It was held up, so it's a goal line dropout. Not sure I agree with that rule, to be honest. I don't see why you must be punished for being held up. But anyway, they've kicked quite deep to the Stormers, who are now trying to build from the halfway line. Masimla going to Tim Swiel, going to Galant. Galant delaying the pass, goes to Sergio Peterson, who gets the ball away, back to Galant, who pops it up for Marcel Tillison, who takes contact. Hey, and that's another penalty for coming in from the side against the Stormers. Last Stormers match I watched live was when we played Bulls in Feb 2020 and we won. I haven't seen it. I think the last live rugby game I saw was Springboks versus Argentina in PE. Well, Quebec now. Which is a long time ago. I haven't been to a Lions game in a while because I was obviously based down in the Eastern Cape, so it was a bit difficult to get to Ayers Park. But can probably only attend if you vax. Yeah, that does sound like it will be the case. Have you been vaccinated, Stephen? I've got my first dose. In fact, I'm getting my second dose on Monday. And then I'll be fully vaxxed and ready to go. Release me into the crowds, chap. Give me the beer. Take me back to Ellis Park. Yeah, I haven't been to a game in a long time. Didn't get to any games last year. As I said, I think the last game was generally that Box versus Argentina back in 2019. That's just 2 years ago, eh? 2 years without going to a rugby game. That's really, really poor. Anyway, Munster going to take the 3 points here. Ben Healy's lining it up. Yeah, frustrating from the Stormers. I think a couple of poor decisions, and I think Stormers probably deserved losing bonus point because I do think that RK's name and try shouldn't have stood because I don't think they should have been in that position. As Kiva said, ref has been poor this game. Stormers probably should have got a bonus point. But it's a decent-looking kick there from Healy. It'll sail through the middle, and Munster will finish with a penalty. 34 points to 18. Frustrating from the Stormers, who I thought played very well in patches. They definitely showed they can compete. That first half was very impressive. But unfortunately, that yellow card to Salman Murat was, the big sort of shifting point where they conceded 2 tries on the bounce. And then, a couple of dodgy ref decisions. We need to adapt, but I also think that there has been a couple of rough calls over the weekend. So not anything to go home with, unfortunately, but a lot to build on for the South African sides. Everyone says, last game I watched live, Lions got beaten at home in Ellis Park. Can't wait for the supporters back, says Johan. John says, last live rugby game I went to was Varsity Cup 2019. I'd love to go to Varsity Cup games. I only went to Varsity Shield games. In fact, to be fair, I was at a Varsity Shield game last year. I'll be at Twickenham in November to watch the Box. Who's coming? I wish I could go do that. Good job, mate. Enjoy the show. Well, thank you very much, everyone. It's been a very long day. We've been live since 9 o'clock this morning, and this is our last stream for the night. We'll be live tomorrow for Dragons versus Leinster. Lakanya will be taking you through that. And then I'm going to be doing a late night wrap-up tomorrow night. Just chatting about the Springboks, the tour, where we move forward, stuff like that, as well as the URC. So come and hang out tomorrow night and come and keep Lakanya company tomorrow afternoon. Thank you guys all so much. Please do subscribe on the way out. We're 9 away from 8,200 subscribers. So I'm sure there's 9 of you that haven't subscribed. So if you guys want to just do that quickly, please do. Apart from that, go check out our merch. It was quite cool to see get our stuff printed. So that's all available on shop.ferrersports.net. Thank you for your company today. Thank you for all the good banter, for all the good chats. Thank you to all the new members that have joined today, as well as the new subs. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. It's been another big weekend, and the Box today making a lot of us very, very proud. But thank you very much, and see you guys soon.